What's up, everyone? This is Dave with 15 for Coffee, business English for all you out there learning English to advance your career, have more control in that meeting, and really meet your business goals and live the lifestyle that you want to live. We're going to talk about something I think is really important today, and that's volatility, specifically market volatility, and how we can use this as a way to navigate our client conversations for sales, to close more sales, and to have the right perspective to guide people to better decisions. So, if this is your first time here, my name's Dave. This is 15 for Coffee, because sometimes you only have a couple minutes to make a strong impression. Business English for international superstars. If it's your first time here, welcome. I do want to cover a couple important things, but what we want to achieve today is a roadmap for you, so when you get into your interactions, that you have a clear pathway to success. And it's a repeatable pathway that you can apply to any situation. And that's the goal. It's not to teach you say this or say that. It's to understand the strategy so you can get the outcome you want in the meeting. You can have the control, and if you don't get the outcome, you're still working towards that outcome while maintaining your value and increasing your influence with the people around you. So your superpowers, very important. Empathy, curiosity, and great questions. You're here because you have a talent, you have a skill, and right now I believe, and I believe you do as well, that we live in a very unique time where you don't have to live in the country to be part of the market. You simply need to speak English, and it is a way to access so much more than what we might have exposure to. I was born in the US. I realized that this is a great opportunity. I kind of realized that I didn't want to take what I had for granted. And I realized that if I could share this with, so like for me, I always have this, but if I was born in like Mexico, for example, this is the internet. I only have access to this part of the internet, 5.5%. But if I can learn English, I get access to this. This is the internet. If you look at business, over 50, anywhere from 50 to 70% of international business is completed in English. Traveling is the same thing. It's where the hotels are going to, more likely to speak English if they speak a second language. So it's a really interesting time to to have this skill, and I think it's really and I was getting at this earlier, but what I realized was that everything I loved about my finance career, if I can give that to you, the person learning English, to get a better job and to expand your markets, expand your reach, then that's a win-win situation for everybody. So what we're going to do is talk about what is sales, and then we're going to give you a pathway so that no matter what situation you're in, you can use a sales strategy and have this greater awareness and understanding of what you're doing and how to improve what you're doing. So having a process that you can come back to and go, this worked really well, but this didn't work. Maybe I want to try another approach here. So and I want to address this as well, because I think this is a problem a lot of people come across, a lot of my students tell me about, is that like they're really good at their job, but then when they go to do it in English, their skill, whatever that skill is, doesn't quite come across, and the other people don't quite get their personality. They don't understand the ideas they're trying to share, and it's really frustrating for them. So what we're going to focus on are strategies to overcome those challenges, because honestly, no one taught you these strategies. You were given a tool and said, hey, go out there and use this tool, but no one really shows you how to use the tool. It's like giving me a bunch of painting materials and like, here, paint me something. Well, yeah, I can paint you something, I'm sure, but if you taught me how to paint, I would probably be able to paint a lot better. So We're going to define sales today. So let's get into this. We're going to talk about sales so that you guys have a clear roadmap. You guys have confidence and clarity in where you're going in any conversation, whether it's your boss, whether it's a client, your coworker, a team meeting, whatever it is. My computer is struggling. I am not a professional singer yet. All right, we're going to define sales here and just get started with sales. Sales, we'll say, is this for our definition today. Sales is empowering others to make the best decision possible. We are a professional, and our goal is to empower others to make better decisions with their time, with their money, with their effort, with their expectations, right? And every person, every interaction, and everything, I would argue, is a sale. This is something I've heard Daniel Pink say in an infomercial or a commercial, and that's everything is a sale. And he's right, everything is a sale. So what we're going to do is identify the most common things. And so when we go into these interactions, we're not trying to find the words and go, oh, I can't say the right word. I must need to study my vocabulary more or my grammar more. Yeah, maybe so. We want to go into the situation so that you already have a really good idea, because that's what really matters, is your idea. The better delivery, great. But the idea communicated is the most important thing. Every single person or audience, they all have a story, they all have a goal, and they all have a problem. And what your job is, as the professional, is to go through this whole process of uncovering what all of these things are. And then once you uncover them, then it's just clear what to do. You know, the person goes from maybe not knowing what the problem is or what they're really trying to achieve, because everyone has their own thing. So your job as the communicator, as the leader, and if you're a salesperson, as the salesperson, or whatever your role is in moving towards the goal, the business goal, you want to find out these pieces and put those together. Everyone has a story, they have experience, they have a goal, they have expectations, right? But they have a challenge in getting there. And what your job is to do is to come in and give clarity around what all of those things are, so that someone can go, okay. We want to remember, though, that's really important, is that people are emotional. They're not logical. The emotional part of our brain occurs first, the processing, the thinking, the reaction, if you will. It's first. The logical takes more time. So we want to use this to our advantage and focus on making an emotional connection with people. So again, it has to do with your vibe. Everyone's in their own place. I want to tell you the story that I tell everybody, all my students. It's the story about taking grandma to the store. And so grandma has lived in the neighborhood for years. And she's been going to the same grocery store for a long time. The neighborhood's changed, so there's like a bigger intersection. It's harder to cross. It takes a lot longer. It's a lot further to walk. But it's really important that grandma goes to the store, right? And for several reasons. Like, it's good for her. She's always gone. She's getting a little older, but it's a little bit more work, so she needs some help because she has her groceries and everything like that, right? But she likes to walk. She likes to go through the neighborhood, say hi to the neighbors. She goes to the store. It's really good for her, and she really enjoys it, right? Now, everyone that you're talking to is kind of like your grandma. You want to look at them with empathy, as if they're your family member, and understand that each person is not going to be able to just walk to the store, get in the car. Everyone is going to get to the store a different way. Your responsibility is to bring them along the way at whatever pace they're at without forcing them in a certain direction. You don't want to pull grandma. You want to walk with her. You want to guide her. Got a little excited here at the crosswalk. Come on, grandma, let's go. The point about the story about grandma is that you always want to be aware of who are you working with? Where are they going? Where have they been? Why are they going at the pace they're going? And then you're in a position to guide them that way. And not only is it good for them, but it's good for you because you are aware of what's ahead on that road. Okay? So I'm going to break it down to you guys. This is where it comes down where you can use this. Every interaction has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So we're going to keep this simple. Okay? It's not easy to do it, but it's simple, right? It's not super complicated. The beginning, like we talked about, it's emotion. It's about energy. People say, don't ask these questions. The questions, what you say, isn't as important as how you say it and how you look when you say it, right? That's the 55-38-7 rule. It's like we communicate so much with our body language, our vocal tone, and then the words is the 7%. It's like kind of the it's important, but it's so the beginning is the emotional part. The middle is the discovery, the empathy, the curiosity, the great questions. And then the end is what is the next step? What is the next logical step? So that when you get to the end, it just seems like it makes sense, right? So again, this is something to be thinking about. And we also have different ways to transition from sections and conversations that we can practice so that we have those things ready when we're in the meeting, when we're in the interaction, right? And then the end. This is really important also because when you do this, when you understand where you're at in each section and you're having problems or struggles with someone in a different area, you can look and say, okay, I'm losing people in the middle, or maybe I get to the end and I keep getting an objection around money. Okay, I seem to be talking to a lot of people that don't qualify for, and I'm getting a lot of money objections. So they probably don't see value somewhere. And maybe I need to understand or build value earlier in my conversation. So maybe back here between the beginning and the middle, I could ask a questions like, hey, is this your first time, shopping for this? What has your experience been so far looking for this type of solution today that you're looking for, that you might want? I've been watching Jeremy Minor, so I like Jeremy Minor. He's good. So now you have an awareness of where you are in the conversation, so you can go back and work on those different parts. So you want to reflect on a lot of this. So there's a beginning, a middle, and end, and walk yourself through the conversation as if it's happening and write it down. Write it on paper, a document, jot it down, dry erase board, whatever you have available, just write it down and be like, or just walk through it with someone, or if you're by yourself. What would this person say if I asked this? What might they say if I asked this instead? What if I asked this first and then this second? Okay. So there you guys go. There you guys, everyone, there you are. There you are. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. You start to follow this, and you need to be aware that everyone has a story, an expectation, but there's something along the journey that's keeping them from there. Your job as the professional is to help guide them through there, and that's sales. So the more you do this, the better you're going to get at it. The more you prepare for your presentations, the more you set up, rehearse what you say, the better. Don't focus on memorizing it. Focus it on your audience and where you're at, and your practice will come out in the conversation, because what really matters is your enthusiasm and the value that you can communicate. People will overlook your mistakes if they find value in you. They'll overlook your mistakes if they like you. So if you're out there and you're using English to have a better career, find better job opportunities, I'm really glad that you're here. If you like this content, go ahead and subscribe and like the video. If there's a question you have, put it down in the comments and I would love to answer it for you. So thanks a lot. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace!